Alrighty, after a bit of delay, we're finally gonna start Ape Escape Saru Big Mission. Hope you're ready for it. I'm gonna input the file name as BSG. Oh yeah. Are you ready on countdown?
Yes.
Alright, in a 3, 2, 1, let's start! Alright, Ape Escape Saru Big Mission is a special game in the Ape Escape universe. Instead of catching the monkeys, wear this helmet thingamajigger. And our mission, instead of catching them, is to actually control them. For some reason, I don't know why. Actually, for some reason, the laboratory is this helmet that can take over giants for some reason. However, Spectre, the main bad guy, actually shrunk us down. So instead of taking over giants, we're taking over the normal monkeys, since Spectre wants to take over the world. He also kidnapped all of our friends. And basically this level is going from one side to the other by using a lot of monkey special abilities. And actually it's pretty fun. Boss battles as well. Cool stuff. And we end by throwing the helmet in the end stage barrier. Between every level we're getting a... Yeah, you did great! And then we're going back to the central hub area, where we're going to do absolutely nothing, except for advancing to the next level. If you know Ape Escape 3 a little bit, it follows the same scheme, with 3 levels, then a boss battle. Repeat for all of the Freaky Monkey 5. Okay, so now we're going to do something a little bit difficult. We're gonna get this blue monkey here while he is running. Try it once more. It's a pretty hard feat. Okay, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're grabbing this little sheep who kind of, well, doesn't want to be seen. It is possible to actually catch him while he's running around. However, it is a tricky catch. We need this fast monkey to run over the lily pads there. Since, well, monkeys can't swim. Taking over the red monkey for the sole reason that he's not gonna basically be a nuisance to us. And now we need to, like, be a little bit hidden. Finally catch the mermaid monkey so we finally can cross over or underwater. Obviously underwater is faster. As for normal movement tech actually, except for, well, this monkey, since he's kind of slow, so he's not really walking. There is no real difference between jumping and just regular walking. So you may see me do both every now and then. Always nice. If you get hit once, you get hit all the time over here. And give it up for Indiana Jones. Instead of doing the developer intended stuff, we can quickly just jump to the last one, and controls being weird. Go up here. The next monkey that I'm going to catch actually is not needed to complete the level. However, if you want to have a swift boss battle, then at least, we are very interested in getting him. Because the difference between a 2-minute boss battle and a 30-second boss battle is made by this monkey. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, except for this monkey, like, the rest is strictly needed. There are other monkeys that I'm gonna skip. Unless someone decides to run the all monkeys category, that's not something I'm going for. Getting this aggressive monkey over here. So for some reason there's this parachute monkey over here. Poor guy. I'm gonna use him all the way over here. There's another parachute monkey over here. I don't know why he's here, but we don't need him. I'm gonna skip this one single platform. And actually, in this level, there's a little bit of cool speed tech after a little bit of lighting torches. As you saw, this monkey didn't want to get caught at first instance. That is a possibility that monkeys can dodge you. If that happens, I either... sometimes I'm just going for it since I know that the monkey is not that good. And other times I'm gonna hit the monkey so that he actually gets stunned a little bit. Oh. That... Yeah, rip perfect cycle, you're right. Oh. Look back for dramatic effect. Actually, missed the torch. Okay, now we need a wind monkey who is really keen on attacking. So I like to attack this. I want to say guy, but it's not really a guy. So after hitting this thing like 12 times, I'm going for the 13. I'm going to take it safe. 14. You can easily just jump over. And this is basically the boring part of the early game. 12, 13. Oh yeah, that was nice. Okay, so here's a piece of interesting speed tech. Where if I stand at basically at an angle, like all of these monkey statues you see on the wall, they will actually spit out enemies. However, if I stand at this angle, they actually can't reach me. So I'm gonna abuse this fact. Yeah, he's trying so... He just fell off. I'm not a bully, they're bullies. And yes, all these enemies are from Ape Escape 3, which this game is solely based on. And actually it's the first Ape Escape game that reuses an engine. I should also notice that this game only came out in Japan on a PSP. However, I'm playing this on a PlayStation Vita TV with a Japanese account. Okay, the useless monkey with a gun. Oh, need him to attack. This is where it comes into play. I said attack. I want him to do the fire attack, which he did. Good. So now I can be here. Aim. 10 shots. 8, 9, 10. That's it. For some reason, that was a red monkey in a mecha suit. If you know your Ape Escape, you're pretty much using mechas. I don't know why, it's a Japanese game. But yeah, for some reason, while he's always the last monkey, he's actually the first in this game. Okay, this level is not known for being fun. Why? A slow beginning and ice physics. This is as fast as I can go. And we've tried everything. Clipping through this door, over the door, besides the door. Yeah. So I want this monkey to speed a lot of stuff up. Because he's faster and stronger. And we don't really need to put it all the way through. However, we do kind of need to punch all the way. And if we're fast, I can make a cycle. Yeah, nicely. Okay, so there's a blue monkey over here, which you actually kind of want to. Believe it or not, this is fast. Okay, he saw it way too quickly. Only happened once that I could catch him like down there. Okay. Cool bunny monkey. So, for some reason, this monkey kinda sticks around here. I wanna punch him right here. It's not working. So it's gonna basically make oh, I forgot something. Movement. And while he's down, catch him real quick. And go on with our merry way. In the next area, there's basically a slope with a lot of snowballs falling down. And a biker monkey, which is basically a blue monkey with a bicycle on top. If we can catch him, it would be great, would be cool. Now we can't, so we're just gonna skip him. The only thing that he gives us extra is that we can hit the monkey who is behind the wall. Thank you. That guy had a bazooka, by the way. The Japanese are violent. Oh, and easily gets through this area. Like this biker monkey, he has... I lost a life here, that's very unfortunate. Not only do I have 3 lives, I have to do this whole part of the level all over again. Righty. No. Sorry, that biker monkey up there isn't worth it, but it saves a lot of time. I'm just gonna tank through it. There we go, very nicely. I wouldn't believe that we needed it for the wall. Luckily, that wasn't the case. So, at least that monstrosity of a level is over. We're going to the next level. Can't really recall which one it is. Oh yeah! The game that finally gives us some puzzles. Okay, so early on in this game speed lifetime I should say, there was a strat here that if you basically committed self-harm the character or something, it's easier to get this Robin Hood monkey. However, it's not worth it anymore. Since we have new strats for actually catching this guy, just don't be as fast. It's counterintuitive in the speedrun. But hey. Okay, the best monkey of the game. He gets his own introduction. Shoutouts to Chameleon Monkey. What a nice guy. And after the cutscene ends, we can beat this guy. Oh man. Climb on walls. What up? Fall down. I was supposed to be here alongside the spikes, so that those enemies can actually self-defeat them, or yeah, cause harm to themselves. Poor guys. Okay, skip that guy. He's not important enough. This lion guy has a key for the next door. Oh, and I can see the puzzle already. So, shoutouts to one of the better monkeys of the game, most used, Hammer Monkey. At least, I hope so. Oh yeah, I should probably touch base on the health mechanic of this game. So every monkey has its own amount of hit points, as shown in the top left corner by bananas. If every banana is like depleted, say this monkey has 4 bananas, he gets damage. Well, he basically has like less bananas forever until you reload the level. If you catch another monkey, he has full life again. Which is interesting, because if you lose all your bananas, all you do is just lose control over the monkey. And if you lose control over the monkey, you can either go to a new monkey, or quickly go back on the previous one and have a banana left. And with that, you're basically invincible unless you get hit, since you almost, like have 1.25 bananas on the helmet itself. And if you die as the helmet, well, you lose a hit point. Right, those were all the puzzles. So just hit all the switches. And with that, we're the king. And we're ending level 5. Oh Oh yeah, that's also something recurring from the whole Ape Escape series. Whenever a stage is cleared, the protagonist is gonna yell, "Yatta!" Alright. I see that we have a donation, so go for it.
That we do. We have a €1 donation from Indy saying BSG hype.
Hype. Shout out to Indy. Friend in the back, right? Oh, all the way in the corner. Don't be shy. So yeah, especially this level, but more of them will. Basically, will force you to have a couple of monkeys that you need for the boss battle. Because if you don't catch the monkeys, they will not be in the final boss battle, or not even the final boss battle, even the mini bosses. So they're forcing this Clint Eastwood-like monkey. And do we care? Actually, no. It's pretty funny, since the next boss is actually the only boss where you cannot skip some of the monkeys. And you need all 3 monkeys. There's a 4th monkey in that boss battle, but the only way to actually obtain him is to actually... Yo, these guys are shooting at me. Is to catch him once you already beat the game once. Okay, so this puzzle is a little bit harder. Instead of hitting all of them, you only need to hit a select few. That one. And it's always the same pattern. Okay, so we've probably seen one of these areas before with a lot of mummies. There's a mummy monkey. He is invincible to enemy damage. However, he's very slow. So there's this fire monkey over here, just doing his thing. We will need it for another boss battle later. Unfortunately, we need this monkey, since there's, well... There's a monkey who could shoot lasers. Like, if I could choose, I would be that monkey. Okay, the final area, and this whole area looks pretty funny on emulator. Which I'm the only one who isn't running an emulator. Although, technically, maybe. For some reason, the emulator can't render the textures. Okay, so this is a sign of Simon Says. And I have to repeat everything that those other monkeys did. Pretty simple. However, that order is never the same. However, there are some patterns that you can see. Like, there's never a single thing 3 times in a row. And almost always there are an equal amount of squares or circles. Okay, second boss battle. I would like to show the cutscene, however, there's not the time for it yet, and I actually need Clint Eastwood. So we're on this thing, and there's a blue monkey over here. He had a date with one of the human protagonists that we're going to save, Professor Aki. And all we need to do is shoot him 3 times, then get him off his horse, and hit him 2 times with the hammer. Repeat that 3 times, and that's a recipe for winning. Let's see, I miscounted. These turns, man. So, one more phase. And he doesn't get any harder, anything. Some people like to go into free aim, however I don't think that it gives any benefit. However, he had a date with... I just like how he screams like that even though he never had the girl. Alright, enough with that. Now we're going into the... Oh, this level. This is one of the levels that, when you're new to the game, even casually, you don't like it. There's a lot of water, there's a lot of ice, and there are monkeys that can shoot ice. Sounds pretty cool. It actually isn't, since you actually need to create your own paths. And if you fall in the water, water is actually lethal to any monkey that's not a mer monkey or a water monster. So we're just waiting for that. And unfortunately, we need the blue monkey, since there are lily pads over there. We're fast enough, we can actually not get frozen here. And yeah, I'm gonna lose the banana. Okay, we did that pretty nicely. So instead of going over the next few ones, I'm actually grabbing this guy, because it makes catching the next mer monkey easier, especially if he or she's in the water. So I'm just gonna freeze him. Freeze him here when he respawns. There we go. Also, cinematic camera angles. As if we're in the movies. Okay, the next area, however. Well, hope you like mechs. There's a special monkey with a control panel in his hand, and he's the only one who can, who can basically live in these robot suits. Which is pretty cool. We're not the Power Rangers, which is also airing on Twitch these past few weeks, or 2 weeks. So we're just gonna leave our robot there, since it's actually pretty slow to have the robots. And we don't need any more robots for the remainder of this level, since the exit is over there. This monkey cannot break the wall, however, we can jump on this pole and jump over the wall. Because thank you, game developers. We can have a yatta party over there. I mean, I agree. Okay, the next level has some interesting speed strats. Or strat? Yeah, strat singular. And we're actually skipping yeah, we're skipping a certain monkey. However, more on that later. Grabbing this guy. And just as monkeys in normal Ape Escape trilogy, the white monkeys can throw bombs, get hit ourselves, take over the blue monkey, and get blown up by another bomb. Go over. Okay, so now we're catching this guy who has one single purpose in life. Cranking. Turning the crank. And he is needed to progress. Not for boss battles though. And falling in pits. And get another cookie over there. So after this one is in place, I'm actually going back and grabbing the blue monkey over here, since he's faster. Previously, right after that part over there, there's another blue monkey that we can catch. However, it's one of those cyclist monkeys. However, it's pretty hard to catch and thus totally not worth it. I mean, he's kind of worth it in the next area. However, he's pretty hard. Yeah, it's really difficult to catch. So that's why we decided to just not get him. Sorry, B-Man. So we can grab the mech, but we can also just cruise through, through all this to the end of the level. We did need to jump there. Okay, stay out the way. Thank you, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We did need to jump there if, well, break the wall. Yeah, we did need to jump if we were the cyclist monkey, so he can just ram through walls. Okay, that's level 8. And now we're actually going to a pretty fun level, Candyland. which has like a lot of pretty cool speed traps, especially in the beginning. Okay, so there's a trick right here. And I'm gonna try it once, since I kinda wanna don't game over since this is a marathon run. So I'm skipping that monkey, not hugging the wall good enough, and jumping over all these things by mashing. And if I do it good enough, I can get here on the island. Okay, we're not doing that. I got hit by one of these enemies, and it's basically a single thing. Normally I don't get this monkey, but I guess it's faster. Can I get him still? No. Okay, we're going to do this the developer intended way. I hope. I am getting juked. Okay, so instead we're gonna swing over to the other side, which also looks pretty great. So get this guy, hopefully don't get hit, and don't fall in the water, since we need all the bananas that we can get. Okay, we did it. Okay, so instead of getting that wind monkey over there, like in the third level, we're just gonna jump over. Okay. That guy was annoying, he was in the way. Okay, this actually blows. Blows. Okay, this blows pretty hard. So we don't... Yeah, we have no help. We have no extra lives left, so we need to get some more lives in the next one. So, we're still gonna do speed traps, however. Why not? So, get this guy out of the way. So, we're gonna stand here. We can't reach that part, so if we stand still here for like a bit, and then fall down, we actually force this thing to spawn over here, which basically grants us access to the next area. Okay, so now we need to catch a pretty annoying monkey that we saw in the 4th level. Bunny! Okay, I thought it was going to be more annoying than this, but I'm not one to complain today. So, immediately lose him. Getting my ass handed to me by a ballerina. And then getting Cupid. We can fly, which is pretty cool, but slow. We need to... I'm not gonna take the risk. Go around this chocolate bar. Again, this is Candyland. And getting this fire monkey that's absolutely necessary for the next boss battle. And whose birthday is it? Who turned 1? Since for some reason there's another cake. Someone turned 8 today. Happy birthday, Midnight. Geo turned 1. Okay, so as soon as that happens, we get Santa. Yes, Santa is actually important. Since we can throw monkeys or throw bananas down to the happy little kids down there on Earth. Happy Christmas. Okay. And with that, another level cleared. And you know it. Another boss battle. And I have to say, this boss battle is pretty interesting if you know Yellow Monkey. I'm not gonna touch base on what he is. We're going for speed traps. If we can get him stuck there, behind that strawberry, for long enough. Okay, let's fire him. I know that setting him ablaze is the right term. Or the right terms, but... oh, whatever. So we're gonna do a spin attack. As if he's a Pokemon. Look a bit around for that. Flame him some more. And he has some pretty interesting speech patterns. One more hit. Get the knife again. So. Echo. Now one more hit. And he's down. That one more hit was actually a pretty nice guess. So. Before going to the next level, I'm gonna take it safe. I know, boo. And I'm gonna buy a life. In the meantime, there's a donation waiting to be read.
We just got a €1 donation from Zita saying, "Hey BSG buddies, I'm kinda sad that I won't be there this month. Let's make the DQ9 hero name the name of last BSG's hero, Indy."
Shoutouts to Zita. All the way at home, couldn't make it here. Okay, so I actually don't know what all the names of these levels are, but I called this one the Golden Sky. And not for a PG-13 reason, mind you. So getting around this... Oh, whoops. It was actually pretty dangerous. But we got him. And now we're Arnold Schwarzenegger, aka the Terminator. And there's a new speed thread that we found here. Actually, Bucci is the one that found it. As long as we stand on his crate, these enemies over there, they actually can't hurt us since they can't shoot up. Which is a pretty big problem in games like Call of Duty, but yeah. Luckily this isn't Call of Duty. So another puzzle. Wow. It's getting more difficult by the minute. Alrighty. Luckily we don't have to keep doing stuff. We can just... I mean, we can set these robots ablaze. Okay, got him. And there's another golden Simon Says obstacle right here. If we can get the monkey at least. The golden monkey. However, instead of one, there are 3 rounds. And if I mess up one, I have to do all 3 rounds over again. So circle, circle, square, circle. So I do have to pay a little bit of attention. Again, these are always random. Ah, pretty easy. Circle, square, square, circle. And go for the donation.
We just got a €5.45 donation from Shadow Wolf saying, "Well, I just got a phone call from the hospital. My aunt already had cancer, but she got told that she will never walk again, and the chance of survival is pretty low. You guys are a great community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Good luck on this BSG, and remember to tell Thex that he needs to do a camera buffer extended super jump during the Rayman run."
Thank you for that donation. Even though Rayman freeze strats in Rayman 1? Is that a thing? He'll do it! Shoutouts. So yeah, that was like a shortcut that I did there with some perfect jumps. And instead of getting this green monkey and defeating that UFO and actually being able to ride the UFO, which is slow, we're just gonna skip that since it actually saves like 20 seconds. If you don't get the UFO. And instead of jumping over the wall, we can just break it with our fists. And throw out our thing. Okay, so I remember that the next level was... Oh yeah, the blimp level. I'm going to take it safe. Getting one more life. For some reason this game prohibits you from buying multiple lives per visit. So you can only buy like one life per level. Which is weird. Whatever. Normally I don't need lives, but it's a marathon. Things go wrong. However, you stand up and you're just gonna have a good old time. Okay, so this level has some pretty fun stuff. First off, the black monkey. He doesn't know how to aim. Actually, can I hit him? I can. Yeah, there's a pretty major skip in this level that actually skips a lot. I want this guy. Because the chameleon is a hero of the Ape Escape series. Waiting for that pink ball. And especially this first area has a lot of... we just planted some monkeys here because we need their abilities. So that's a way to like prolong the game. Which is fine. So yeah, this guy, he's gonna be our hero for the rest of the level. Even though it's unintended. So I'm gonna touch base on what the next room is all about. The next room, we need that swinging Indiana Jones power up again. However, if we don't grab him, with some pretty nice jumps, we can actually stand on one of those poles. Okay, need to stand on the edge over here. Okay. These robots scare me. Okay. And I need to time it correctly. So once he's halfway through. Okay, missed once. It's a really specific timing. Missed it. Yo, we did it! So this, even now, it saves a lot of time in the run. So instead of getting that crank monkey, I'm just gonna skip it. And even though this final section of the level had a pretty amazing speed strat, instead of all 4 boxes, you only do 2 and you can jump to the end. Well, we can fly to the end right now. And that's the end of this amazing level. For some reason I completely blocked out what the next level is. Oh yeah, the horror level, how can I forget? So the start of this level is pretty... you can say interesting. There's a zombie monkey who's basically getting bullied by the other robots. However, we're also bullying him, since he's not interesting enough. Getting to become the centaur. Waiting over here for this sea monster monkey. Yeah, I didn't make this game. Okay. Getting to bully another zombie monkey. Taking over this guy. So, if you know the horror level in Ape Escape 3, there are a lot of horror references. Like, the man with the hammer. However, for some reason he freezes in the air, so you can just walk out of the way. And boy, we have more hammer puzzles. Instead of hitting a certain one, all we need to do now is wait for the switch to be, well, basically open so that you can hit it. Alrighty, just walking through the room. There's something interesting at the other side, and we're just gonna ignore her completely. And then the next horror stunt is Jason. And we're gonna be a bully. And for whoever owns this mansion, shout out to you, man. Like a lot of swinging seesaws. Wait, did this one move? Okay, I was a little bit early on that. But generally it's a good thing to focus on one that's not open at that point. And just wait for it to go open. In your animation, since that's pretty slow. There's another Jason. With a cooler hockey mask though. I'm just gonna wait here. Wait here again. Going to the final area of the game, which... okay, the speed threads are actually pretty boring. There's a flying monkey coming here, and this guy is coming back. Is he? And it's Dracula. It's a pretty cool monkey. After basically doing any percent, some more monkeys unlock in every level. Which kind of gives it a forced replayability. Yeah, it's really forced. As in, it's not done correctly in my opinion. However, there, instead of this Dracula monkey, there's actually a Superman monkey over there. I don't know, I'd like to point that out. And clock struck 12. Cinderella is late. And knocking over all of those robots. And that's the end of that. So now it's the fourth mini boss battle. Pink Monkey. And unlike, or not unlike, just as in every Ape Escape game, she's a pretty annoying monkey battle. So we're grabbing the hammer guy. Since there are switches over here, which for some reason, I don't know why they're like that. Oh, if we're fast, we can actually hit her. Okay, so I can't aim. We need to lure her into the center over there. Center back. I said lure her in the center back. Thank you. Oh, there's an enemy. Okay, cool. That's not the pink monkey giving us the thing. Okay. So yeah, we can throw all of those stage lights on her. Then she will reset the stage. And we're gonna do the same thing. However, this time she's more into the offense and actually will attack us. So the thing drops on her. However, she's not gonna reset the stage. So instead, we're just gonna bully her. Okay, so it's actually cool that she went here. Because now we can hit her with a more powerful attack. Like if she's... okay. I mean, fine. She can do 2 attacks when she's here. And they take a lot of time. However, if she is on the field, she will do an attack with a gun, which is way too fast for you to hit her. At least with stronger attacks. However, that was a pretty alright-ish pink monkey battle, so I'm happy with it. Okay, now for the final 3 levels. Where we're going more and more into a laboratory. Well, going to the source of the mechas. So getting this Indiana Jones monkey. I wasn't low enough. And for the final time, gonna be a beautiful mermaid. Actually, this is a guy, mermonkey. Let's swim underwater since it's safer. Even with that fish going around in this river. we need the hero from the other level. The parachute monkey again. So yeah, a lot has changed since the last time that I showed this game over at BSG during the 9th edition? Or the 8th? Oh. I thought I had the cutscene. I believe it was... Yeah, it was BSG 8 that I showed it here. And the estimate was like 110 or 115. And I got a 107 if I recall correctly. Well, a lot of strats have been refined since 2 new runners came into the play. Both Ape Escape runners, Buchism and B-Man. And because of that, we all three went into some strat finding. And we basically shrunk the game down by like 10, 12 minutes. So yeah, this Volt Monkey here is new. And all he can do is give power to these things. And while late in the game, he is a really important monkey for, well, the last few levels. It's pretty alright since it's actually a laboratory. Okay, so we have two choices. We can be the rider monkey or the flying monkey. I chose for the flying monkey. Even though the biker monkey is faster, and he is. In the end, it's actually faster to take the flying monkey because we don't have to get that other monkey there that gives the power of electricity to those things, and actually having to wait for these platforms. We can just go over, and it saves like 45 seconds. Yeah, from the 12 minutes, Blim Skip is one of those time saves. So that bazooka monkey was bullying me. A lot of bullying around today. Get in here. And there we go. Especially the 15th level had some pretty interesting speed tech happening there. Something that I found actually. And then the final boss, which took 6 minutes in the last run that I did here. We can do it in 2 now. And it's literally thinking outside of the box. Is it love with the... Yeah. With the weird guy in the computer over here designing a weapon. Whatever that weapon will do. So that bazooka monkey over there, I believe it's that specific one. If we get him, he will actually be in the next 2 boss battles. The final boss battle and White Monkey. Oh yeah, the chameleon got replaced with Spider Monkey or Magnet Boots Monkey. You monster. So instead of catching all these monkeys and getting that guy, I'm gonna walk with this one. There's a lot of fire over there. However, if we're fast, we can actually skip all those, assuming that they're still on cycle. Almost fell in the thing. Good job. Okay, now we need to swing around that way. Reach, please. Thank you. Too bad. Okay, where's the thing? So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. There we go. In before I missed the last jump as well. So here's a firefighter monkey. Who you think you kinda need him since there's a lot of fire. Yeah, we don't need him. However, his enemy, the fire monster over here. It's actually causing all these fires. However, it's faster to just damage boosts all over here. Hopefully getting this monkey. And I actually have no clue why I became this monkey. He was just in my way. This is just a lot of, well, going around some pretty tight mazes with a lot of tough enemies. And enemy regenerators. So, however, we do need this hammer monkey over here for some pretty amazing puzzles. An actual Simon Says minigame. So it's going to be green, red, yellow, blue. This one actually is always random. Yellow and blue. Oh yeah, the elevator. Some pretty cool speed threats have been found here since last time as well. But if we light... Okay, that was actually pretty cool. I didn't know about that. I could hit the enemy and the thing at the same time. Double jump, thank you. Just skip all of that. Run through all of these monkeys. Pretty harmless. Oh, that's the end of the level. I'm thinking about a section in the next level. Since apparently this monkey is pretty hot in the last amount of levels. So just fry the next guy. And fly over to the end of the level. Yatta! So back in the day, when I was playing the game casually, and even in the beginning of the speedrun, we had some problems with this level right here. I even called it the impossible level. However, nothing is impossible after some good old strat finding. So yeah, this yellow monkey is actually needed for the boss battle, and we were actually going to use him. Even if they're being shot down there. Some pretty cool monkeys right here. There's a pretty cool UFO right here that we could take and commandeer. However, we're not going to. Instead, we're just gonna shoot this monkey point blank, even in the back. Which is pretty bad actually. For some reason, this monkey, you can go into first person aim, so you actually have to guess if you're facing the right way. And again, it's not that bad. So we're getting Spidey Boots monkey again, since he's actually some sort of brother from the chameleon monkey. He's gonna walk all the way up. And guess what? More electricity puzzles. Okay, so apparently, as soon as you stop moving, these monkeys will even forget that you're here. So they will not actually acknowledge me, even if they're walking in front of my face. However, there are two monkey generators over there, or enemy generators. And the monkeys coming out of those will acknowledge me. Which is pretty bad. Jump. Oh, didn't hit. So our first instance of actually losing all our bananas. But just got back onto the monkey, and now I have a half banana. I'm actually gonna take over this guy, since he has more health. Hitting all three of these batteries. All three of the batteries, thank you. And jump on them. And now, for some reason, even these flying enemies can't hit me. You think with like electricity coming out of here, it's actually pretty dangerous to stand on there. But nothing is last true. Oh, nice Dunglish. Alright. So, we're actually using or abusing the fact that I lost all my bananas to catch him more easily, since he actually cannot flee from that. So getting through this pretty locked camera thing where I have to be quick, otherwise I'm gonna be pushed from the stage. Nicely. And we're actually getting this fighter monkey since he has a pretty fast attack that we need in the next room. After bullying him for a bit. Alrighty, the impossible room. So, I always thought that these had a lot of HP, and I also thought that that basically the stronger attacks are stronger. You'd think that, but they're actually not. The fast attacks are just as strong, so why not take a fast attack and destroy all of these things? Even the fast attack does twice the amount of damage as a laser gun. So instead of hitting it 10 times, we can do it 5. We can even attack the thing without it shooting lasers at us. So I'm actually getting another banana. I'm getting hit by something. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit her. I'm gonna get hit her a few times. One more. Doors open, and that's the end of the final level. Can I make it through there without getting hit another time? Okay, we're saved. 2 more boss battles and then we're done. So first off, the last monkey of the Freaky Monkey 5. If you're thinking robots, you have to think about this guy. The smart one. White monkey. Okay, so this guy... There are... He's a few amount of speed threats. Like you stand on the outside, hit the button a little bit, get one more hit, and okay, that's one of the attacks that we actually have to watch out for. Since he has 3 attacks, and only the bomb attack can hurt us when we're out of bounds. The other 2 attacks, for some reason he just doesn't acknowledge that we're there. So. One more hit. This one again. Yeah, even with the gun, he's just as bad in aiming as the bazooka monkeys. Or the black monkeys, my bad. Okay. Twice in the back. Okay, do that one more time and then we should be safe. Mashing, it's not that hard of a boss battle. And twice more. Oh, that's it actually. Nice. Alright, now we're going into the final boss battle. And my aim is to defeat him in 2 phases. Okay, so we're starting with this monkey. And even though we only have 2 monkeys over here, this is all we need. Okay. Since the red one is going to be the star of the show. Okay, gonna switch over to this guy. Since in his new attack, or his next attack, we're just gonna go to his backside. And isn't this fast? Yeah, this attack basically slows him down from a 6-minute boss battle to a 2-minute boss battle. Also get ready on time. Back there. Just damage boost through all these attacks. Use iframes for all these rockets. Or not. Go to his back. Mash. And if I'm right, time. Sub 1 hour definitely is not a bad time for this category. Yeah, that's Ape Escape Saru Big Mission. And in my eyes, it was a pretty okay run, even though we almost game overed. Next up is Rayman by the Xterra. It's all dressed up. So, stick around for that.